Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday edition of the Baseball Diaries. If you know us, this is our kind of week wrap up of everything that's going on in baseball right now. So we're going to dive right into news and notes. Wyatt Langford hit his first MLB homer today.
What was the distance on that homer?
Inside the park home run. He got a Little League home run for his first career homer for a guy that hit like 30-plus bombs in the minors.
Yeah, just last season, and then every year before that, he consistently puts up a 1 dot in every. He literally has not put up less than a 1 dot in the minors.
Yeah,
and,
you know what?
Mind blowing.
No, mind blowing. I mean, the kid's got elite speed, so not totally shocking that I would expect him to hit multiple inside the park homers.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't say he's
over his
speed.
Career, over the course of his career. No, okay, maybe not elite speed, but to the point where he's fast. And he doesn't look like he should be.
That's true. I'll agree. Because the
guy is yoked beyond belief.
Yeah.
And just somehow turned the burners on. I mean, to be fair, it did get in between the outfilders. They probably miscommunicated.
You know what? I'm going to eat my words. He does have he 100% has elite speed.
He currently definitely does.
I just think of when I think of elite speed on that team, at least, I think of Evan Carter, who has pretty elite speed as well, and I don't know which one's faster, but just because
they should have him race.
I want to see that. I would love to see that. Yeah, go ahead.
But Wyatt Langford first career homer. When that happened, I sent Tyler a meme. Said Bangford. Really, good for him because that's his AL Rookie of the Year pick. Really looking I mean, I won't say really looking good, but
not really.
He's been.
I mean, the only thing
he's getting better for sure.
I'll agree with that. He looks like he's trending in the right direction.
He's maturing, I'd say.
Yeah. He's in the red in chase rate, whiff rate, and walk rate, which is what he was throughout the minor leagues as well, except for everything else. I mean, everything else in the blue, but I think it's starting to turn around for him, and I think he'll eventually. I mean, I think
will he win Rookie of the Year right now? Maybe not, but at the same time, my Rookie of the Year pick got demoted to AAA this week, so
that's true. Our picks, our picks sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Yeah. Shout out Gattuso, but other than that, I mean, nothing else really on the Rangers at that point. Wyatt Langford first career homer, good for him, awesome. Inside the park home run has to feel insane as your first career homer.
What I was gonna say was I was trying to look it up when I was at the dog park today. Who else had their first career home run as an inside the parker? And I couldn't find shit on it.
I genuinely have no clue.
This is a J-Hate stat that he would need to go into.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it was someone with wicked speed.
I would think of Ichiro or something like that. You know, D. Strange Gordon. Yeah,
someone just who's renowned mostly for his speed. I mean, shit, Ellie wouldn't have surprised me if his first career homer was an inside the parker.
Yeah,
but whatever. I mean, cool, awesome.
Hey, homer.
That's an interesting way to make your first mark.
100%.
It's definitely not going to be the last for him. But after that, Mason Miller's FIP is currently lower than my blood alcohol content. Well, I mean, that might not be totally true. I'm definitely not at that rate right now.
But 0.04. If you've had my friend,
I had one drink. All right, hold on.
That's at least a 0.04 for you.
Right. You calling me a lightweight?
No, well, literally yes.
That's
not figuratively.
That's messed up. But his current FIP, I think it's different on Fangraphs and Reference, right?
Yes.
But his Fangraphs one, I think, is at 0.06.
Yes.
And
which your BAC might not be there yet.
Yeah, his Baseball Reference one is 0.04. That is ridiculous. The dude comes in and he's like, I'm going to strike out the world. And we have to amend our most fuck you fastball rankings because, we did have this debate. Originally, Scoobles is definitely, 1B, but Mason Miller's is 1A. It has to be.
I gotta go. It's a solid. I'm going. It's a solid 1, and then Tarek takes a 2. Just because
I could agree to that. Man. I just think that the fact that it's a lefty that pumps 99 is just different. So that's why I went 1A, 1B. But
the only reason I go
is just I think he's 7 for 7 now in save opportunities for the A's.
Yeah, he is.
which again is crazy that he has had 7 save opportunities.
Hey, the A's have not been.
But no, the A's haven't been
the
bad.
Worst
like,
team.
I mean, side note: the A's really need to go back to Chris Carrai as their announcer because, oh my God, is the other person on the calls brutal? Her call for the McCann home run against Kimbrel, which we're about to get into, it was brutal. I don't know if you saw it, but it was awful.
No, I didn't see.
It was the home run today that gave them the lead in the 9th off Kimbrel. Mm-hmm. It was a terrible call. Like there was nothing to it.
Usually I'm on. If it's the Orioles broadcast, I'm listening to the Orioles broadcast. I don't care who the other side is.
Yeah, no, 100%. But at the same time, I saw it on Twitter because MLB posts it.
Yeah.
And I heard it, and I was like, I mean, Kevin Brown's definitely wouldn't have helped my mental state considering I was studying all day. But Jesus, like it was just a brutal call. Like there was nothing fun about it. You just kind of like died. The only excitement on the call was Dallas. That was it.
Yeah. Dallas is always going to bring the.
I love Dallas on the broadcast. He's so good on it. But I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe they're making this happen.
Yeah.
Like I'm all for women in sports, but holy hell, dude. You have to have some level of excitement on a home run that puts you in the lead in the top of the 9th away to one of the best teams in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, and they took the series against them.
They did, which is shocking. They split a series against the Yankees, a 4-game set, and then they took 2 or 3 from the Orioles. Those are 2 of the best teams those are the 2 best teams in the AL East.
Yeah.
Like,
and 2 of the best teams in baseball. Like,
and you're like, how is there no excitement? Like, how? You have to be pumped about that.
I mean, sticking with the A's real quick, are the A's doing what happened in Major League? Like, what is going on with them? Like, I'm fully like, I think
I wouldn't go that far yet.
They have a picture of their owner in a full suit, and they're every win that they have, they're taking a piece off until it shows him in a bikini. John Fisher.
That would be the most ugly sight I think I've ever seen.
Yes,
I don't need to see that.
Nobody needs to see that.
Yeah, no.
See that or the Aroldis Chapman post again?
I'd rather see the Aroldis Chapman post. I'm not even gonna lie. You want to see John Fisher in a bikini more than that?
More than a man squeezing his mom's boobs? Yes.
Okay, I mean, like, look, it's like that's like lesser of 2 evils, but that's like gun to right temple, gun to left temple.
I'm pulling the trigger. Like,
oh, I'm pulling the trigger, of course. Like, if I have the choice to avoid that completely, I will avoid that completely.
Yeah.
So let's hope that never happens. But yeah, Mason Miller's insane. Just
True.
Like the kid is nasty. He's going to be gone by the deadline. We already discussed that.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now, he's the most unhittable pitcher in baseball. Like he comes in and just blows away the side every single time. And he has a slider that's like 15 miles an hour slower than his fastball.
And he controls it, too. That's the crazy part.
He's
got good control. Yeah, he's got really good control of both pitches, his fastball and his slider. Every time he throws a fastball, it's top of the zone. It is right where, and it's not like top of the zone, like outside no, it's right at the top of the zone where
it's like kissing the black every time.
That. I mean, right now he's got in 7 2/3 innings pitched. That was
you already lost me. Hold on.
In 12 1/3 innings pitched, he has a 1.46 ERA. Oh, I guess they raised it on Baseball Reference for whatever reason to a 0.08 FIP, and then a 0.892 WHIP. What the actual that's just insane. And we lost Brendan again, like usual. Also, quick news and note: we will actually be likely having a guest on for the first time ever, and it's not Brendan coming in for the second time. Welcome back.
No, it's I'm not shocked that happened, but well, you know what? This early, I am shocked considering how deep we got last time without that happening. But
take a guess what Mason Miller's strikeouts per 9 is right now.
Oh God, I want to guess an obscene number, but I'm gonna keep it at 19.
You're very close.
I'm gonna keep it
18.2.
That's not even remotely surprising because the kid just comes in and strikes out the side like it's nothing.
Yeah, you're lucky to get a foul ball off of him, honestly.
You really are. It's crazy. Like, the velo is absolutely nasty. There's no way you're touching that fastball. Like, if you touch that fastball, it's a foul ball.
He's got the most pitches over 100 miles an hour already in this year, obviously.
But, I mean, every single time he pitches, you get, like, the Codify Sports tweet, like, oh, look, Mason Miller pitched today. 103, 102, 101, 103, 102. It's disgusting.
He's like over 30. It's like 30 more fastballs over 100 miles an hour than the next person on the list. And I believe the next person on the list...
It has to be... Well, Joan Duran hasn't pitched this year. He just threw a rehab start, and he's the one that could ride.
I think it was Michael Kopech.
That would make sense.
I think it was Michael
because
Kopech.
They moved Kopech to the bullpen. Yep. And, hey, look, people are stealing your bit on Twitter now.
I know.
About Fam fixing
I don't know if I said that.
Jolly Olive today.
I don't know if I said that on the podcast last episode.
I think you did.
I think I did. Yeah.
No, well, I don't remember. You might have texted me.
Yeah. Well, no, I think I might have said it after the podcast.
Yeah.
Regardless.
But you definitely said it.
I said it.
You said it first.
I said it first. I said it literally the day that he got put on the team.
Yeah. Which I said, surely that'll fix them. And apparently, did it actually fix them? No. But
nothing can fix them.
Is it funny that they have gone on a 3-game win streak since? Absolutely. Yeah. Also, they just swept the Rays, so you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about that later.
Yeah, we definitely are going to dive into that. But so our Rays thoughts have been there the entire time. Like this isn't a good team, but they're the Rays. They have devil magic. They'll figure it out.
That's exactly, yeah.
And they just got swept by the White Sox. They may have lost. And now you're like, that's half the White Sox.
I think this might be the first time that the Rays lost the fiddle contest with the Devil this year.
Yeah, the world's tiniest violin playing for the Tampa Bay Rays. But yeah, moving on from that, Scooble, awesome day.
Awesome.
Shocker.
I mean, not even just shocker. I mean,
he's been awesome the whole time.
Yeah. He's been, it's absurd, obscene that neither of us picked him as our Cy Young. Both of us mentioned it. Both of us wanted to.
We both wanted to, but it was
man. It's almost like the most obvious Cy Young pick that we should have done. Like the most obvious of the non-obvious. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
I think I shied away from it more so because I bet it rather than anything else, because I was I thought he could be the guy, but I wasn't like, oh, he's going to be this dominant the entire time.
Right now,
and I also was concerned about his health because he hasn't been healthy. No, I mean
his highest. And
if he stays healthy, it's awesome.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, right now he's got a 1.82 ERA, 29 innings pitched, and this was before today's start actually. 35 strikeouts and a point, leading the AL with a whip of .0742. The reason I say this is not updated is because this is Baseball Reference, and they take about a day to get it updated. I don't know why it takes them that long. And that leads to a 10.6 strikeouts per 9.
Jesus. Yeah, that's nasty. He's just nasty as hell. And we did touch on this way early in the podcast, so we already knew this was a thing. But what more do you need to buy into Tariq School?
I don't understand. And you want to know what's even crazier? So we've said that his fastball's the second most fuck you fastball in baseball. Take a guess how much he throws it.
I'm gonna guess 23% of the time.
Not quite. 30% of the time. He has
30%.
He has 5 pitches that he throws regularly. He throws the four-seamer 30% of the time, the changeup 25% of the time, sinker 23% of the time, the slider 15% of the time, and then the knuckle curve 6% of the time.
Dude, his changeup was nasty
disgusting.
Today.
His changeup is gross.
It's so gross. And again, we're talking about a lefty with not quite a funky arm slot lefty.
No,
but
it's a weird. It's a weird delivery.
He's one of the most. Yeah, it's a weird delivery, but it's also one of the most fluid lefty deliveries I've seen.
It's definitely a fluid delivery, and we're losing Brendan again for the second time for some reason. But yeah,
I'm not getting anything actually.
Fluid delivery that's completely repeatable. I think that he's going to continue to dominate all season long, and I think we could be looking at a first-time Cy Young winner and Tarek Skubal. Moving on to news and notes, because this was against my Cardinals. Pete Alonso hit his 200th career home run. Good for him.
Am I back?
Oh, you're back. I don't know.
Yeah, I turned off Sunday Night Baseball on my TV. I don't need it. Well, not on my TV, but on my computer. I was just like, screw it. I have it on in the kitchen. It's on in an Ethernet port, so screw it.
Perfect. Well, yeah. So Pete Alonso hits his 200th home run. He's going to hit a ton more. He's a free agent after this year. He's going to get breaded the fuck up. Do you think he leaves the Mets?
Part of me says yes, part of me says no.
That's where I'm at as well.
But I'm at a 50-50 spot, because I like the way the Mets have addressed these most recent phases is that they've sold the fact that they will not win for a while.
Well, they told Max Scherzer the window was 2025, which is next year.
But that was also before they traded away them.
That is, that was actually in the conversations of trading them away. But yeah,
it was. But for a guy who was as old as Scherzer, that was probably definitely a point. And I think that Pete's going to want to go to a team that has the capability to win now.
I see.
And I don't know if the Mets have that yet. I think the Mets still need to stack, because their farm system is not good.
No, I agree with that.
Because they bought prospects at the deadline last year, but it wasn't like they bought enough to where I was like, okay, so they're actually in this rebuilding phase and they're taking it seriously. It was like they thought they were going to field the team, but their team has been, for a team that's in a rebuilding phase, almost too competitive.
Yeah.
Like they're going out there and they're still trying to win games. And I'm like, if you do not want that, you're screwing yourself for the future already. And you're going to make that window extend.
Huh, sounds like another team that I've talked about at length.
Yes. We will get into them shortly, because you and Sean went off in the chat earlier about that.
Sean tried to defend it a little bit, and I almost fought him. I was so close.
I know you did, because Sean's skeptical too, but he's not quite.
He's not me.
I don't know. He's not you.
Is he from St. Louis?
Yeah, he lives in St. Louis.
There we go. That explains it.
Yeah, because Sean still has a little bit of positivity in him, but he's definitely on the Moseliak's killing me kind of thing, all of that. But I'm 50-50 with Pete. I do think part of me thinks he does leave just because he wants to be on a contender immediately, rather than wait for the rebuild to stick.
See, the only reason I go against that.
That's why I said 50-50.
Yeah, the argument against that for me personally is that he's kind of just he's been the face of the Mets. Even with Lindor on the team,
and he will continue to be if he stays
100%. And the thing that I think about with him is I think Steve Cohen sees that as him being the face of the Mets, and I think Steve Cohen's just basically going to say whatever offer is out there, we'll match it.
Yeah. No, I agree, but part of me thinks that Steve is obviously you know what? I won't even say he's obviously bought in, because he hasn't really fully demonstrated that yet. Because he's made big free agent signings, but it was all older free agent signings. It's not like he's looking to make the team younger. But at the same time, I wouldn't be shocked. So I'm not gonna criticize Cohen's ownership yet, because if they continuously fail to make the playoffs over the next 5 years, or their rebuild just doesn't show any signs of progress, then you can start criticizing his ownership.
Well, what I think of his ownership is I think when he bought the team, he completely went in with the idea that he can buy a championship, that he can be the Yankees of the 90s, and he can just buy championships, and that's how it's going to work.
And I think he thought it would be easy.
I think he did too. That's what I was kind of getting. I think he thought it would be easy, that he could just buy these championships, and lo and behold, that's kind of not how baseball works. Even with the Yankees in the 90s, they still had to develop talent. They still had to, and then not only that, but they were spending an absorbent amount compared to the rest of the league too. Like right now, he was spending an absorbent amount close to the rest of the league, but there were still teams like the Dodgers that were right there in spending. The Yankees weren't far behind. The Cubs were getting sniffing there for a little bit. Like he wasn't
Phillies, all of these teams.
He wasn't spending where it's like, oh, I'm spending in the hundreds of millions and everyone else is spending in the 90 millions. No, he's like,
yeah. Speaking of that, do you want to mention the quote you said? Because I'm blacked out of Mets broadcast, so you heard that quote from the Mets broadcast.
Oh.
About the NL East?
Yeah.
Mention that, please.
I was watching the Mets broadcast versus the Cardinals, and they said that the NL East might be the most competitive division in baseball, with the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves fighting for the division. And I was like, no, you're not. You're not fighting for the division. You're not even fighting for playoffs. Like, if they snuck into the playoffs, it wouldn't be the craziest thing that ever happened in baseball.
No, it wouldn't be the craziest thing, but it would hurt them.
Yes, it would. And I think it would be a crazy thought. Like, if they made it to the playoffs, it would be pretty insane.
Well, because, all right, think about this. At the end of the day today, there are two teams that are tied for the most wins in baseball so far. Do you know what those two teams are?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
It's the Braves and the Phillies.
Yeah.
The Braves and the Phillies both have 19 wins right now.
Yeah.
The Phillies are off to their best start since the 2000s. Like the really good 2000s teams.
Yeah.
And the Mets, at this point, think they're going to compete with those two teams for the division. Like,
it's not a chance.
The Phillies and the Braves, might fight for the division late.
Yeah.
Because the Phillies have done the right thing. Like, I vented my frustrations earlier.
Like,
it's the current, based on current stats, aside from ignoring the Taijuan Walker start, because he was. I do think he should have been pulled after 6 because he had a quality start through 6, but he was only at 74 pitches, so they're like, screw it, whatever, go out there, and we're still winning. It was 6-3 when they put him back out there, and now I'm like, okay, whatever. His stats are going to inflate the staff's raw stats, but other than Taijuan Walker, that staff has been elite, and you're like, I have no idea where you're getting the idea you can compete with these two teams. I don't know.
It makes no sense. I mean, the Mets have been playing well. They've been playing better than expected.
They have
for sure.
Yes.
But to say that you're competing in the division, you're insane.
I hate the Mets, and I'll give them credit for the fact that they've been playing well right now. But there's no way you can expect that to constantly repeat itself over the course of the entire season. Your staff is not good enough to replicate anything that the Phillies or the Braves can put up.
Your lineup doesn't sniff either of those teams.
Yeah, the Phillies and the Braves are currently in a slugfest to see who hits the most homers.
Yeah.
The Phillies hit 9 home runs this series.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So, moving on from that.
Yeah, move on.
Corbin Carroll.
We got to have a chat with you, buddy.
This is bad. We said we weren't going to mention it beforehand until the weekend series.
Yeah, but not much changed over the weekend series. He got, let's see, no hits.
Did he even no?
Unless he got one today. Unless he got one today.
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, it's the Mariners pitching staff, but you were a unanimous Rookie of the Year, and you're hitting he's probably hitting close to sub 200 at this point.
He is sub 200. He's at 196 with a 5, and that's going to go down because this doesn't have today's stats, with a 550 OPS and a 58 OPS.
The Orioles demoted Jackson Holiday for this kind of performance.
And I'm not saying that you need to demote him, but there's something going on, man. I don't know what it is, and it's not like this is a. If
he's not healthy, put him on the IL.
Yeah,
screw it.
I don't know if he's on.
Get him healthy.
I don't know if
he's such a huge part.
And the thing is, I don't know if he's not healthy or if it's pitchers have figured him out or what. Or confidence. I don't know what it is because we said it before. This dates back to last year, even last year.
Yeah.
This
is not an anomaly at this point.
Yeah, it was a steep decline. So in June for the June of 2023, he had a 979 OPS. Then he dropped down to an 800, which is not bad. 808 for August, and then 815 September, October, which includes his playoff performance. But his home run numbers, I mean, begin the season 4, 5, 8. This is by month. July 4, August 2, September 2. Sorry, I thought I was almost over this.
Cough button.
Yeah, I'll remember one of these days.
Has been pressed.
Oh my god! Sorry to the two listeners.
It's just like it's such a steep fall off that you can't. Yeah. At this point, you can't not address it. Like, no. I mean, look, even if it's a phantom IL stint, just put him on it so he can get right.
And I don't know what it is. Like, I really I don't know what you do. Move him down the lineup. Like, what? I don't know what you do.
I think he was hitting 7th today.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know because I mean, his first half of the season last year, 915 OPS. Second half was 812. He went from 18 home runs in the first half of the season last year to 7 in the second half. And then it's just gotten
maybe
worse.
It is pitchers have figured him out.
It's gotten significantly worse. I mean, he's got 1 home run this year, 2 doubles. That's it for his extra base hits.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Everyone in the Phillies lineup has better numbers than that.
Yeah.
Except for Rojas hasn't hit a home run, but he has way more doubles.
Yeah, it's concerning with Corbin Carroll, and I don't know whether to sell stock on him. I'm going to look up his Savant page because I'm just...
Oh, wait. That's going to be an interesting lookup, actually.
Maybe if I could type normally, that would help. Okay. So, yeah. So his whiff rate is still good, his K rate is still good, his walk rate is still good. He's just missing the barrel. I mean, average exit velocity is in the 3rd percentile. Expected on-base percentage, 38th percentile. Expected batting average, 25th percentile. Slug, 19th. Hard hit percent is 4, as in the 4th percentile right now.
That's bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's just not hitting the barrel. Like, it seems like he's either reaching out of the zone, either he's chasing out of the zone too much, or he's just not going after the right pitches, it seems like. Like, it's...
Yeah, like, I mean, he's in red for range, speed, base running value, whiff percentage, K percentage, and base on balls. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's like light red for base on balls.
I mean, even his BABIP is brutal right now.
I know, it's terrible.
232 BABIP, which, as fast as he is, that's shocking.
He should be beating out grounders all the time. And he's just not. Like, and the sprint speed being in the 93rd actually concerns me a lot because he was 99th, like,
last year.
The entire time last year.
Yeah.
So a 7% decrease is, I think that's not being talked about a lot because it's like, yeah, he's still fast as hell.
That honestly leads me to believe a little bit more of credence into he might
injury thought.
Well, yeah, exactly, the injury thought, because like if you're like maybe it's a some kind of leg injury, I don't know, like
whatever it is, like they got to get him right if they actually want to compete because he's not even a positive value right now for that team.
I mean, not offensively. Defensively, I mean, he's still at least got a...
Defensively, he's pretty good. Yeah.
He's still... Yeah. I don't know how they have him as a .2 positive WAR this year. There's no way.
That's kind of shocking.
I don't believe that at all.
In other Diamondbacks news, because that's a pretty good transition, we got Zach Gallen hamstring tweak. Hasn't been specified what kind of tweak it was, but he looked off. I did send this to Tyler earlier. Gallen, I think, has a first pitch get me over problem still.
Yeah.
Which it's like, is it so prevalent that you have to worry about it excessively? No. But he does have this very bad tendency to try and throw a get me over fastball on some of his first pitches, and they just get cracked.
Yeah, he's got,
because he's like, he throws them right, he splits the plate on some of those pitches, and it's just like, dude, your fastball isn't at 97, you're not going to miss a bat there. Like, it happened against Schwarber last year, he got taken deep, first pitch fastball, right over the heart of the plate, and it happened this weekend, and I quoted the tweet, and I said, Zach Gallen has a persistent problem with this kind of pitch. Like, he just leaves it over the heart of the plate, and it gets cranked every single time.
Yeah, and this is, when we're talking about Zach Gallen, this is major nitpicking because he's literally a Cy Young caliber pitcher every single year.
He's an excellent pitcher. Like, I love Zach Gallen, but that's the one. Is something that bugs me.
It's like talking about like Max Scherzer, because like Max Scherzer is one of the greatest pitchers of all time, but he's got a home run bug problem. Like, he gives up a lot of home runs for that quality of a pitcher. Like, overall, I'm sure his home run rate is not an insane amount, but
I'm sure
the pitcher that he is, that's a concern.
You don't expect that.
Also, some good news on the Gallen thing. There's no plans for him to even undergo an MRI, and it looks like he probably will even make his next start. So, looks like he'll be all right.
All right, yeah, no, because like it looked like a bigger deal than anything else when he came off.
Yes,
the mound.
Agreed.
So I was a little bit worried, but I'm also like, all right, I'm sure he'll be fine. But at the same time, that staff has been getting shelled a bit. And the Diamondbacks, I mean, again, we've touched on the Wests and how they've been, well, shaky, again, at best, is the nicest thing you could say about them. But, I mean, the Diamondbacks have been far below expectations, considering what they added.
Yeah, they definitely have been. It's, well, and to be a little fair to them, Erod is out for a long time, from what it sounds like.
Yeah, he is.
And they just got back Montgomery. Like, they just got him. So
yeah, and there's and Fott's a good pitcher, but he's not a 2.
Well, and after the playoffs last year, it was looking like Fott was going to have a breakout year, and he had a good day today, but like, it hasn't otherwise.
That was an outlier so far.
Yeah, it 100% has.
Today was an outlier.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe his ERA prior to today was in the 5s, I want to say.
I think it was. And I'm sure that our guest will get into that, because I'm sure he was going to rip the Mariners offense. But
yeah, actually, no, he's kind of like the other Cardinals fans that I hate.
Where he's a little too positive?
Yeah, so he wasn't quite a 5. He had a 4.97 ERA. So, but that's, for what's in...
He's almost 5.
His career ERA is a 5.54. Last year was a 5.72, which, like I said, is crazy because his stuff is nasty. Fott has nasty stuff. And it looked like he was going to figure it out. Playoffs last year, he was absolutely lights out last year.
He was.
And everyone, me included, I thought he was going to have a breakout year this year. So we thought that he was going to be their 4th starter. And if your 4th starter is looking like he did last year in the playoffs, man, that's a tough team.
You're going to take that.
And unfortunately, it has not panned out at all for them.
No, not at all. I believe that's all for news and notes, right?
No, we got Anthony Rendon got his wish.
Figured out how to stop playing baseball.
Yeah, he figured out how to stop playing baseball. He's going to be out from what it sounds like is they didn't say specifics, but sounds like it's going to be several months. I don't want to say he's happy for that, but
he might be.
He might be. So
so we actually got a big late edition of news and notes. 6 minutes ago, Jeff Posson just tweeted the MLB uniform fiasco of this spring is finally being addressed according to the MLBPA.
Thank
Nike was innovating. They're going back to the old font.
Thank you.
Fanatics, get the fuck out of this sport.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We are back. Baseball is back. But thank God. Late edition of news and notes. I'm so happy we caught that. Right now, I just checked the group chat and that came in 6 minutes ago.
Nice.
So beautiful timing.
Last on news and notes, and it's kind of gonna be a little bit of a debate. Is the Blue Jays window closed or is it closing?
Okay, so we do have slightly differing views on this.
Yeah.
I think it's closed.
Yeah.
And the reason I think it's closed is because all of their most productive hitters that were the baby Jays are right now terrible.
Yeah, they're
and not looking recoverable. They're all hitting sub 250 at the moment, and their pitching staff is not getting any younger.
I'll agree.
So that's why I think it's closed. I mean, Manoah's gone.
Manoah
like that's
a coffin. I don't know
that's
what.
That's never happening again.
The Manoah, like we were talking about, like crazy sophomore slumps and Corbin Carroll. The only one that I can think of that's any worse is Manoah, because Manoah literally went from being one of the best pitchers in baseball.
He was top 5 in Cy Young voting, right?
Yes, he was. He might have been second, honestly.
He was close. He was. I think nasty his first year.
Yeah, he was definitely top 5. And then he went to the minor leagues and has yet to be seen, and in the minor leagues has been bad. Like,
I think his career ERA now, including minor leagues, is like close to 7.
Yeah, I whatever happened with him needs to be studied, because I cannot figure it out.
Does.
Like,
no, I have no idea what happened to him. But like,
and honestly,
his major league career, I think, is over at this point.
I completely agree. If we ever see him again, honestly, I hope we do, because I liked when he was on the team, and he was a great personality to have. I mean, I liked him.
He had such a good moxie.
He did.
Like, the guy was just like,
he had the most. He had a lot of.
He was hyper competitive. Yeah, he was hyper competitive. Like, was always like talking shit, which you love out of a pitcher. Like, if they're confident, cocky, all of that, especially if they can back it up. Right now, he can't back shit up.
I agree.
Like, like that wasn't their saving grace? No, because they still had good hitters, and now all of their good hitters have turned into complete dog shit.
Yeah, and that's where I struggle to say it's completely. It's close to over. I'll say that the door is cracked.
How close are you? How close are you?
If they don't figure it out, if the hitters, if Vladdy Jr. and Bo Bichette don't figure it out this year, I think it's over. I think this is kind of the last year for them to figure it out specifically, because Vladdy Jr. is 25 years old right now, and it's crazy because, like, at 22, he literally was second in MVP voting, and the only person to beat him in MVP that year was Shohei Ohtani, and that was Like, if Shohei Ohtani has a pulse,
and now it looks like an outlier.
Yeah, and it looks like a big time outlier, because besides that, he's had over an 800 OPS 1 year of his career, and that was an 818. Right now, he's got a 647 OPS. Last year, he had a 788. That's not. I mean, it's not brutal,
and that's
but it's not. Well, the 647 is brutal.
Well, it's not what you expected from
him. Is not brutal, but it's not what you thought. I mean, the Baby Jays was surrounded behind Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. That was the start of it, and Kevin Biggio was kind of on there. I didn't realize Kevin Biggio is actually 29 years old. Like,
Kevin Biggio has actually been the best one of those three this year.
He's hitting 242 with a 699 OPS, and then Bo Bichette, he's got a 208 batting average with a 571 OPS. Like,
the fact that Kevin Biggio has the best batting average OPS, all of that for the Baby Jays, is absurd.
It's insane.
He's not even the biggest name there.
No, he was
not even close to it.
He was and it's weird because, like,
he was the redheaded stepchild of the Baby Jays.
You look at the Baby Jays, and, like, not only the Baby Jays, but, like, the guys that kind of came up and, like, made names for themselves in their system. Alejandro Kirk, he looked like going to be one of the better hitting catchers. He's got a 451 OPS right now. George Springer, who was an added piece that they thought was going to help bolster the Baby Jays into becoming the full-grown Jays, he's got a 678 OPS right now. I mean, it's just bad. Like,
no, it's bad.
Like, it's,
and that's why I think the window's closed. Because at this point, Vlad has persisted mediocrity for the last year and a half.
No, it's been 2 years.
Well, yeah, I was being a little kind, but yeah, it's 2 years, and he's just like you have to start to assume maybe this is just who he is.
Yeah, and it's like, and it's kind of, it sucks to see, honestly, because, man, when the Baby Jays were getting good, and it looked like I don't know if they made the playoffs or if they got close. Did they make the playoffs in, like, 2021? Maybe. I think it was like 2021. It was the year that,
Okay, hold on. Let me look it up real quick, because I don't want to be wrong about this, but I mean, they were 91 and 71, and they finished fourth, so definitely didn't make the playoffs.
In 2021?
They got close. Yeah, 2021 shit. Toronto Blue Jays.
All right. Well, they
fourth in the AL East with a 91 and 71 record.
And that was kind of the Baby Jays are here. They've matured. They're looking like they're going to be they're going to be something. And then it's just been bad every single year since. And like you said, their pitchers are not getting any younger. The pitchers that they added, Jose Barrios was added to the team, and he's been electric. But
he's been electric.
He's getting older. Kikuchi is getting old. Like Kevin Gosman's getting older, so it's like Chris Bassett's getting older. You just it's like the what it could have been kind of thing. Like where you're like, it's not as bad, but it's similar to the White Sox in like 2020 when it was like, oh, the White Sox are hitting their stride right now. They might be here, and then the White Sox completely fell apart, and
they self-destructed immediately.
They absolutely self-destructed, and then the Jays just kind of like, and theirs was and White Sox there was a lot of injuries. With the Jays, it's just like they just kind of
they just regressed.
They just regret. All of them collectively regressed. And it was,
and collective regression is not something you see that often.
No,
like ever. I seldom to this level.
No, it's definitely not to this level. I mean, to go from Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette, who are both players that people were considering to possibly be MVP winners one day, to be fair to Bo Bichette, he had a good year last year. Bo Bichette did have a good year last year, but it's like, again, without Vladdy Jr. and the rest of the team picking it up, what are the Jays? Mediocre? Like,
at this point, that's at best. That's a best case scenario for them.
Yeah, I mean, right now, best case scenario is them finishing third in that division and still missing the playoffs by a ton. And that's with the Rays being terrible and the Red Sox just regressing to what they should be.
You know what? Should have taken Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah, true. You screwed up.
Yeah. They did.
So
every team in the league technically screwed up there. So
true. Including the Orioles themselves.
Yeah, but the Orioles were able to get him anyway. Yep. So I guess they're never going to complain about that.
Yep. So I guess we can go into our AL and NL teams.
I'm going to let you start. Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to let you start.
So while that's going on, I announced while you were gone for a second. So we're actually having a guest on for the Mariners because he's a big Mariners fan and actually one of the few listeners to the pod. I'll say,
shout out.
Not being mean to him. He doesn't know as much about baseball as either of us, but that's not very, very many people do. But he does love his Mariners, and I'm going to let him come on and talk about the Mariners a little bit because he's a little more optimistic than we are of the offense, which is crazy to me.
We're down so bad on that offense.
So I'll start off with the Cardinals. The Cardinals took 2 out of 3 against the Mets, but they lose lose today's game in a walk-off fashion in the 11th inning. It's just with the Cardinals, it's like I feel like what keeps happening is the offense starts getting some momentum, like with the Gorman home run or walk-off home run, and then all of a sudden they lose 17-1 to the Diamondbacks, and then it's like, oh well, there goes that momentum. Win again against the Diamondbacks, and then they take 2 out of 3 against the Mets, and game 2 was encouraging. They scored 7 runs that game, so it's like, okay, that's what the offense needs to do. That's what that offense can do, because that offense, top to bottom, on paper, looks like they should be a world beater.
And we've talked about that almost every single podcast. Yeah. It's like that offense on paper is it's a great offense.
It's easily, I would say, a top 10 offense in baseball on paper. Like,
I was going to say that too, but I wasn't going to go as far to say top 5, but like top 10
I'd scratch top 5. I'd be like, it's close.
Like you could put them like 6, 7, and I wouldn't disagree with
exactly. I would say, like, because there's some good offenses in baseball, but like I would say, like, when they're all playing at their best, they could be a top 5 offense in baseball. Are they absolutely not? Are they not right? I mean, obviously not right now, but I'm saying just on paper and what the promise was. I mean, if Jordan Walker was the rookie of the year candidate that they thought he would be, if Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado
to top 5.
Exactly. Nolan Arenado and Paul Goldschmidt are the MVP candidates that they should be, and then Wilson Contreras is one of the best hitting catchers. Hey, and we got our guest coming on. I can't believe we figured this out. So Cardinals are off to play the Tigers this week. I don't really have a whole lot more because I delved so much in depth last episode of my horrors of the Cardinals.
Because
and then
definitely. So In terms of teams we cover, right now the Phillies are definitely the most exciting. Tied for the most wins in the league with 3 teams. I did discount the Guardians, which, it's the Guardians.
Yeah.
They're not a pop offense. They're a contact offense, which never translates to October. We all know that. Except Stephen Kwan hit a nuke against the Braves, which was the most surprising thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Stephen Kwan hitting a nuke ever. It's just like, huh?
Yeah, it was. My jaw hit the floor, and if it could go, if it could have gone below the floor, it would have. But so right now the 3 teams tied for the most wins in baseball are the Cleveland Guardians with 19, the Atlanta Braves with 19, and the Philadelphia Phillies with 19. So you got 2 teams in the NL East, and then you have the Cleveland Guardians. I'll let you decide who sustains that over the course of the season. But right now, one guy we have to talk about is Alec fucking Bohm. Yeah,
Alec Bohm has finally hit that breakout year that I've been waiting for him to have.
I'm knocking on wood again because the guy has been tearing the cover off the ball.
Yeah, he's already amounted 1.1 WAR. By reference WAR.
That's according to reference.
And that's before today, too.
Fangraphs has him at 1.6.
Jesus. And he's got a 1.030 OPS, batting .354. Already has 10 doubles.
Shohei right
10
now.
doubles and 4 home runs. And he's almost, and this is what's up. Oh, I like this. This is butter my biscuits material. Walks to strikeout rate is almost 1-to-1.
He has been not chasing at all, and he's waiting. This is the Alec Bohm we thought we were getting out of Wichita State. Yeah. The wait for your pitch. When you get that pitch, you're blistering it, and he has been doing that so consistently this year. Oh my God, has he been fun to watch? So we've been waiting for that kind of right-handed hitter to cover Bryce Harper for forever, because JT hit a nuke today, and it was a no doubt. I mean, I don't think you saw it. You definitely saw the notification on your fan. Dude,
I saw that one. Yeah,
ripped.
I saw that.
But Bohm has been the most perfect hitter in those situations. I think he has a career batting average this year. I think he has a 426 with runners in scoring position.
Jesus Christ!
And for his career, he has a 324. And so the guy has always been good with runners in scoring position.
But he's been
this year, it's another level. He currently has a higher OPS than Shohei.
So
and
I'm looking.
His OPS plus is not higher than Shohei, but his OPS currently is higher.
I'm looking at his Baseball Savant right now. Take a guess what percentile his batting run value is right now.
I'm gonna have to guess 99. There's almost nothing I can.
Yep.
Yeah.
His whiff rate
has to be 99.
Whiff rate right now. Whiff percentage.
I'm gonna go 95 there.
Dude,
because he does swing at some.
95%.
Fuck yeah. I'm not even looking at his Savant. I'm currently on his Fangraphs.
Yeah. 95%. That's absurd. This, if that Philly, if he can continue what this is, and who is the downside in that Phillies lineup? Bryson Stott?
Bryson Stott hit 2 bombs today.
I know, but I'm just saying, they're
yeah, who the hell are you gonna pitch
right
to?
now? Currently, Castellanos, but I'm not.
Guess how many times Casty walked today? Guess how many times he walked
4.
today? 3. He walked 3. So and that's the thing. The thing is, this was a constant discussion on Philly's Twitter. It was if Casty doesn't swing the bat, he probably walks 3 times a game.
Yeah, I mean,
and he didn't swing the bat at all. He looks a little more patient over his last few outings. And I don't know if San Diego is what he needed to wake him up, or West Coast trip was what he needed to wake him up. But he's looked better at the plate in the last 3 games. In a sweep of the Padres, who were
4-game sweep of the Padres too.
3. No, it was 3. It was 3.
I thought I saw a 4 in here.
Yeah, it was only 3.
Oh yeah, I can't.
No,
read.
It was 3. Yeah, it was 3.
Still.
Watched every game. It was so exciting because our offense, like, you know what? This might bias me a little bit against the Mariners because I'm watching the Phillies beat the shit out of the baseball.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching the Mariners and I'm like, Jesus Christ, can you guys make solid contact?
Hey, you guys even won the Taijuan Walker start.
He gave up 6 runs. I will say this. He was good through 6. And they let him go for the 7th because his pitch count was so low because the Padres were swinging at everything. So, like, you may as well let him go through the 7th. He gave up a bomb in the 7th. He was through 6 1/3. Gave up a bomb to Campusano. So it made it a little bit more nervy. But you still scored 8 runs. Like, that's the offense this Phillies team is promising.
This is one thing. This is what I'm looking at right now. That is pretty absurd. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in the Phillies lineup right now with over an 800 OPS, and 2 of those guys are the guys you would expect: Bryce Harper and Trey Turner.
Yeah.
Nicholas Castellanos 461 OPS, Kyle Schwarber 703 OPS. Those are your 2 thumpers where you're like, oh yeah. Those guys are going to have over an 800 OPS.
They're going to get there.
They're not there. And like Brandon Marsh has an 898.
Kyle Schwarber is probably going to get there.
Yeah.
Dude, Brandon Marsh was the hottest hitter in baseball for the first 5 weeks. Yeah, and last week he was the Philly of the week.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, like, we're looking at a Brandon Marsh that has almost never, with the Angels, he was always a corner outfielder, but he was never like an everyday player.
Yeah.
Because, Mike Trout's there.
Yeah, of course.
And they drafted him as a center fielder.
Yeah, so it's like you can't,
he's not going to play. And now he's pretty much an everyday starter. He should be an everyday starter, just regardless, because his bat is worth that.
Yes.
And you have Rojas, who is hitting doubles like a machine right now, which is awesome, because that's all I expected Rojas to do. I don't expect home runs out of Rojas. I expect elite defense and gap to gap.
He must have hit a couple doubles today, because overall, he has 2 before today.
He hit 1 today. It scored. Bryson stole second and then scored on a ground rule double to make it 8-6. But he's doing he's hitting the ball much better than I expected him to, because he's our 9-hole hitter.
Yeah,
I expect him to beat out infield singles, maybe get a gapper every other time. I don't expect him to hit for power, because his defense. Do you know how many defensive runs saved he had in 40 games for us?
What?
Last year? 15.
Jesus
DRS.
Christ.
Yeah. If he was playing the entire season, they projected his DRS at 56.
Holy shit.
That's how good his defense is in center field.
That's absurd.
That's not something you sacrifice because his bat is not super great. His bat doesn't even have to be elite. It can be average at best, or even slightly below average, and the defense is worth having a slightly below average bat.
Yeah, 100% agree.
And I love Johan Rojas because his approach has changed, because he hits with Trey. And Trey has been okay, do this, that, and the other thing. Simplify your approach, eliminate the stride, and you're going to get more hits.
Yes.
You're fast as shit. You may as well use that to your advantage rather than anything else. And he has been very good about this year, and I love it, because his defense is so good in center field that you cannot send him down.
So I think maybe 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how bad the Phillies offense had been, because they just had been. And the last week, they've completely turned around. They're 4th in baseball with an 823 OPS, which is what we pretty much expected of the Phillies, honestly. In runs, they are 3rd in baseball with 39 runs in the last week. So this is what we expected. And if they're going to do that,
it is
with the pitching staff that they're putting out there right now, minus Taijuan Walker once they execute him in the center of the field. That's not fair to say. But
I won't even completely blame Walker for that. I won't even completely blame him.
Yeah.
Because he was pretty good up to the
point,
6 1/3, gave up the bomb. But it's dude, you can't make that pitch in that situation. That was my thought.
Well, and it's just in the on the team that he has, he can't be starting. I mean, they sent Spencer Turnbull to the bullpen with a 1.33 ERA.
Okay, so about that, Turnbull is getting another start this week.
Okay.
And I think with his start, I think he'll win the job, and Walker's going to go to the bullpen.
Yeah, and
because it's like
you have to.
Walker, because in this start, Walker has 6 earned runs. Over his last 27 innings, guess how many Turnbull has?
Oh, over his last 27, it's like 2. 4.
It's 4.
Yeah.
It's 4.
Yeah.
It's 4. You cannot have Walker. Okay, Walker may be a great clubhouse guy, and he is a good personality. Yeah. But you got to win games. You cannot have him costing you games.
And look, if the offense is going to do what they're doing right now, and the pitching staff continues to do what they've been doing, which I don't know if either of that's sustainable, but I mean the offense I think is sustainable. Pitching staff, I have my questions with Turnbull at least and Sanchez, but
Turnbull is a justifiable question.
Yeah.
I think Sanchez is more sustainable than Turnbull.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, but I just don't think to the extent. I mean, Sanchez is pitching at it.
No, I don't think he's going to pitch to a sub 3.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But if he gets like a 3.5, I'm happy with that because he's a 4.
Yeah, and then Turnbull's your 5, and what's he going to get? A 4? Like, okay.
That's like one of the best pitching staffs in baseball.
That's a great pitching staff, especially if Ranger just keeps. Because I have not seen any signs of Ranger deteriorate. Like, what he's doing right now, I don't see any signs of it coming down. Obviously he's not going to pitch to a 1.32 for the entire season. But
no,
could he pitch to a sub 3? Yeah, I think he could. Like, I 100% think he could pitch to a sub 3.
You said that on Twitter
3 guy? This week. Good God. It's a insane pitching staff to have with the offense that they're going to produce. I don't even 100%. Know what to think of that, and we lost Brandon again. I think you might have lost me.
But
with that, we can, I guess, move on to our team, our podcast team, which we got him back.
It cut out again. I was on like a sub 1 bar, which was weird. But like what you were saying, I heard all of it. So I agree. I don't think he's sub 2 guy right now. But like if he's sub 3, that is a insane 3. And that 1, 2, 3 right there, that could punch your ticket to a World Series.
And not only that,
if you
but
use it right.
The first 2, and if Ranger keeps doing this at the rate he's at, 3 guys now are going to be close to 200 innings. Wheeler punch him for over 200. As long as he stays healthy, punch him for 200 plus, guaranteed. Nola,
I mean, he didn't even have his best stuff in his first start this week, and he got 8 punches and still went.
And that's
6.
what I'm saying. Like punch him in for 200 plus innings if he stays, as long as he's healthy, 200 plus innings. Nola,
wait. Before you go into Nola, I want you to guess the current starting staff's WAR for the Phillies this year.
Shit. I'm gonna guess like a 7.
Oh, you know what? You're a little bit high on it. It's 5.5.
Okay, that's still. I was going.
So no, it's crazy for this early.
It is. It's completely insane for this early.
They lead the league in WAR right now as a starting staff.
That's not shocking.
Yeah.
Like
they are WAR stackers.
Yeah, I mean, literally. Wheeler leads the league in WAR. It seems like every year, basically, and then Nola's right behind him.
He does. And Nola has gone 3 straight starts with 7 innings pitched so far, and it's like he has been so good in all 3 of those. Where it's like, yes, Nola is prone to blow up innings every now and then, but like when he's on, he's not hittable, even with his fastball being on the league low average.
Yeah, he's been like that for basically his entire career. Like he's had some couple. He's been like that in his entire career, where it's like when he's on, good luck. You're not touching him. He's gonna have a weird blow up inning every few games, every whatever. Even his worst season.
Yeah.
What was his worst season? I think it was last year.
Last year,
he had like a
last year. I think it was.
Yeah, and he had like a 4. I think he had like a 4 ERA, if I'm not mistaken. No,
I think it was like 4.36.
4.46, very close.
Okay.
And then actually, it's not his worst year. 2021 was his worst year. He had a 4.63 that year. But yeah, other than that, I mean, just paints He's been above 200 innings in 1, 2, 3 seasons. Last year was 193. So these guys are going to eat innings. And yeah.
I think he's also gone 5 straight years with 200 plus strikeouts.
That I don't know, but I literally just hopped off the page because
it's something along those lines. It's something along those lines. He said it last season, and I don't remember how many years it was in a row, but Nola, you can almost pencil in for almost 200 innings every
exactly.
season.
And then if Ranger has this breakout year that it looks like, his best year was in 2022. He had a 3.65 with 155 innings pitched. If he keeps pitching he's already got a complete game shutout. If he keeps pitching deep into games like he's been doing, he's going to also get above that 200 inning mark, which I don't know the last time a pitching staff has had 3 guys get over 200 innings, but it's got to be a long time. My immediate guess would be the 1990s Braves. I'm sure there's other. Maybe the Phillies.
I would estimate the Tigers.
Tigers probably.
The Tigers in when they 2000s, 2014 would be the last guess I have for Tigers. But 2011 Phillies is a good bet
that's
too.
What I was thinking.
But I wouldn't be shocked if the 2014 Tigers had that too.
It just is unheard of at this point in baseball that 3 starters 100%. On the same team would have over 200 innings pitched. I think last year there was 5 total pitchers.
Yeah. No, we went through that
one of the episodes.
A couple episodes ago.
We did, and I don't remember it off the top of my head. But anyways, we can hop off the Phillies for a little bit. Podcast team. Unfortunately, we have some bad news this week. They lost 2 out of 3 against the A's. Not great.
And the A's probably aren't as bad as we thought.
No, I agree. But they're still the Oakland A's.
But it's the Orioles should beat them. The Orioles should at least take 2 or 3 from them, but they just didn't.
Well, Kitrel showed his true colors today and kind of blew the save today. I shouldn't say kind of. He did. He blew the save.
Lo and behold.
I was honestly shocked he's been as good as he's been. I do think if the Orioles are serious, and they should be at the trade deadline, I think that's they go after a closer.
They need a closer.
I think they go after
because Bautista's already out for the year. You need a closer.
Cano he's good. He's a good middle reliever, but he's not what you need.
He's not a closer.
No. And I think that's honestly when I said the Phillies go to Mason Miller, the team I think goes also after him is going to be the Orioles.
I think those two are I think the Orioles and the Phillies are going to be competing for Mason Miller at the deadline. But I also wouldn't be shocked if the Orioles go another direction, try and get I wouldn't be shocked if the Orioles try and get not Clase. What's his name? Tanner Scott.
Yeah, I could see that as well.
Who I already suggested to the Mariners because they don't really have a super dominant lefty reliever.
They don't.
So if they got Tanner Scott, I could see that being a very good piece for them to have and potentially move.
Don't tell me this.
No. I'm not saying they do move him.
Okay. Well, go ahead. Keep going. I'm just gonna cry.
Because the Marlins are as bad as they are, I could see them selling Scott lower than they actually should. And the Athletics, I think, will still sell Miller.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty cheap, but I don't know if they're going to... Based on who the Marlins are now, I would be shocked if Tanner Scott's asking price is very high.
And then also another shot, kind of one that could be up for grabs is Kyle Finnegan from the Nationals. He leads the league in saves right now with 9 saves and
really?
with a 2.19 ERA and .97 WHIP.
I could see a package deal there for them because I could see the Orioles trying to get because the Orioles originally drafted Hunter Harvey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I could see them trying to get Harvey and Finnegan for something minimal because the Nats are not going to make the playoffs.
No, they're not going to sniff the playoffs, and they're still in current complete rebuild mode.
Think about it. If you're the Nats, you could get probably some decent enough prospects.
You're trading with probably the best
Finnegan and Harvey. You're
trading with probably the best farm system in baseball right now.
Yeah, and the Orioles probably wouldn't have to shell out that many high leverage pieces in the farm system.
Here's another one that regret to want to say. It could be Ryan Helsley if the Cardinals are completely not competitive, because he's not a free agent this year, but he's a free agent in 2026, which is far enough away to make me feel a little comfortable. But if the Cardinals completely accept rebuild like they should,
you wouldn't shock.
I mean, we'd have to probably. I would assume that they'd need a big package for him. Like they would need some good prospects.
Helsley would be the most expensive one.
It should be, because like he's one of the best closers in the game right now. He also is tied for the league lead in saves.
The one thing I think that kind of irks some teams away from Helsley is his asking price, because a lot of teams in contention normally do have a good closer. The Orioles' mishap is they don't, because Bautista's hurt.
Exactly.
And I don't know if they pay through the nose for a closer,
because they're going to get him back eventually, like next year.
They are going to get him back. So I don't know if they pay through the nose. So I think you are probably safe.
I hope. Well, I think I might be safe from the Orioles, but I'm sure there's going to be some other teams.
You're going to get offers,
and I hate that. I do, but
because Mozeliak's your GM,
which honestly, here's the thing that'll probably happen: they won't trade him. They'll trade Goldschmidt for a mediocre package, and we will be doomed for the next 10 years again. That's probably what'll happen. They won't accept the full rebuild, which they should. They should have traded away Carlson last year, because there's got to be a team that would be like, oh, we can fix him. Probably the Rays. The Rays would be like, oh yeah, we'll pick him, and then all of a sudden he'd hit 35 home runs, and it would
be the most ridiculous 35 home run season of all time.
I'd be like, this guy couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat with the Cardinals. We traded him for a pencil and a sack of potatoes, and now he hit 35 home runs. That's what would happen. And also then there,
Mason
I was
Miller,
just about to say
7 saves. 7
and that was the other.
Like he's just not.
And hittable. That was the other loss with the Orioles. The A's took the lead in extra innings, and then the fuck you Mason Miller came in and just diced everybody. Like you can't hit him.
He made Gunnar Henderson look stupid.
And Gunnar had been on
hasn't
fire.
Looked stupid at the plate all season.
At the point, or during that, at that time, he had over a 1.0 OPS, and Gunnar looked like a child amongst men at that when he was facing him. Like it was absurd.
Yeah, no, ridiculous. But I don't think this hurts the Orioles. It is clearly a team that runs on vibes, and John Means in his last rehab start looked really good. So maybe that gives them the boost they need, because Bradish is coming back. That series against the Yankees, is it this weekend?
I believe so.
Or is it?
Let me look.
And they currently have Grayrod, Burns, and I think Bradish all lined up to start.
Oh yeah, I saw Bradish is coming. Yeah, it's not this weekend. It's the series coming up right now. They are going to New York, New York's coming to them for a 4-game set too. Yeah,
that's going to be an
intense.
Could be really
that's
big
going to be
AL East race.
Big AL East race because they are currently 1 game behind the Yankees. So this could be this is going to be a big series for them.
Oh, 100%. And I think it'll be super competitive, so it'll be really fun to watch. So if you can tune in, definitely do.
Cubs just tied the game. All right.
But after that, we got AL Series. The Rays were swept by the White Sox, which is...
I can run through this real quick. So I'll run through all the series that happened this weekend.
Go for it.
Then we'll go into standings. So we had the Rays took on the White Sox, and the White Sox swept the Rays, which may go down as the all-time season most surprising shock I've ever seen in my entire life. I said it. Tommy Pham fixed the White Sox apparently. Then the Tigers took 2 out of 3 against the Royals. I'm going to double check this because I wrote this down before this game had ended, but I'm almost positive it turned out that way. Yes, the Twins swept the Angels, then heading to the NL. The Pirates lost 2 to the Giants, which, man, for a team that looked so good to start the season, they have took a steep downturn.
It always happens.
And then the Nationals took 2 out of 3 against the Marlins for the Toilet Bowl. Oh, I'm sorry. They took 3 against the Marlins. They play the 4th one tomorrow. Would I be shocked if they sweep?
And you know who hit a grand slam?
Oh, Jesse Winker.
Jesse Winker.
Yep. Big Dick Wink. He fucking yes. Back. He has, and you know what? I'm upset because I dropped him like 2 days before that because I saw him scuffling a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is the Wink that I remembered. And then he hits a grand slam.
He hit a grand slam. Yep. And it was the most gangster, like, just bat drop, walk through it, and he knew, and I'm very happy for Jesse Winker because like he was such a good hitter.
I mean, back in,
and I am glad he found his swagger again, but like also relax a little bit, buddy.
The 2019-2020 seasons of Jesse Winker were fucking awesome. Actually, was it 2020-21? Regardless, it was one of those two. He had 2 years of just being electric. When him and Castellanos were on the Reds, oh my god, I hated seeing that.
Jesse just has like swag about him that it's like undeniable. Like when he's on, yes, when he's on.
Now heading into the interleague series, Brewers lose 2 out of 3 to the Yankees. Not shocking because the Yankees are on fire apparently, and we were apparently wrong. Also, Carlos Rodon. How do you keep getting away with this? Your expected numbers say you should be trash, and you are pitching at an insane rate. So I understand that it's like the expected numbers are a long-term thing, but man, he keeps getting away with it. Reds lose 2 out of 3 to the Rangers. The Braves take 2 out of 3 against the Guardians. The Dodgers drop 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays, which, yikes. We've already expressed that the Dodgers have had a kind of upsetting start to the season for the haul that they did. I mean, they're going to win the division. Duh. Like, we're not saying anything like that. But for what they spent in the offseason, we were expecting some historic, or I shouldn't say we, the public was expecting some historic run, and they just haven't been on that yet.
I think everyone was. So that's the thing.
And then our last interleague series, we got the Cubs taking on the Red Sox. They're 1-1, and right now they're currently playing, and it's tied in the 8th inning, 4-4 with 2 outs, and the Cubs are up.
Damn, that's getting intense.
Bree Delio is having internal tears right now, I'm sure.
Probably. With that being said, I'll get into the standings so far. All right, so you got the Los Angeles Dodgers at the top of the NL West, 18-12, plus 38 run differential. That's not really a shock. 6-4 in their last 10 on a 1-loss streak. I mean, and again, we emphasize this. This is a team everyone expected to be, even marginally, most people expected them to be breaking the wins record of the Mariners. We were skeptical of that beforehand anyway. Like, the 2001 Mariners were a different beast. I don't think we expected them to get 117 wins.
No.
But a lot of people probably did expect them to get close to that because of the amount they spent. So far hasn't matriculated. I mean, could they end up going on a run that ends up with Mookie and Freddie hitting 1 for 34 in the postseason? Yeah, sure. But I don't know what to make of this team because it's like their top 5 hitters have been tearing the cover off the ball on most nights, but at the same time, I really don't know what to expect from them at this point because like they've been almost madly inconsistent. Like especially for an 18-12 club, like they've been so madly inconsistent that doesn't make sense for a team that spent that much. After them come the Giants at 14-15, minus 17 run differential. So they're improving a little bit, but like the West as a whole, you got the Padres at 14-17 because the Phillies just swept them in a 3-game set. They were 14-14 before the 3-game set, and they were second in the division, and now they're third. The Diamondbacks are sitting in 4th at 13-16, and they actually have the second highest run differential in that division at plus 29. The Padres are at minus 3, and the Phillies bludgeoned them in a couple games, so that didn't really help their run differential. And then the Rockies are languishing in 5th at 7-21 with a minus 70 run differential, and a 3-7 in their last 10. So that's playing out not quite exactly as expected, but to a degree where it's not so shocking.
Yeah, we both said the first place seed, it's the Dodgers, and then 2, 3, and 4, mix them up.
Yeah, it's really up for grabs. It's pretty much anyone's. And right now, the run differential suggests the Diamondbacks will change course.
Yeah, but also you got to remember that there's a 17-1 game in there versus the Cardinals. So
yeah, that is true. So you could subtract a lot of runs from that. So really, is it actually plus 29?
I'm sorry, 14-1.
Oh, 14-1. Oh, dramaticism is fun. Their expected win-loss is actually 17-12, which is kind of funny.
That's actually funny.
Yeah. So NL East, we got the Braves at 19-7, plus 47 run differential, 8-10 in the last 10, 8-2 in their last 10. Phillies sitting in second at 19-10. So again, tied for the most wins in the league right now. 8-2 in our last 10, tearing the cover off the ball, really helped our run differential. And the offense looks like it's turning around for the Phillies to complement the pitching staff that has been lights out to start the year. And the Phillies now travel to the Angels. Then the Mets, who are 14-13, 5-5 in the last 10, and Francisco Lindor still looks like he's struggling a lot. So I really don't know what to make of this Mets team because I don't view them as a real perceived threat in this division.
They're not.
Because I really do think those last three teams in the National League East, like the Nats, apparently the Marlins are the worst team in baseball at 6-23, and with
baseball
a minus 59 run
them.
differential. And, deservedly so. But, cough button.
I turned around.
Yeah, the Marlins are 14.5 games back. They're not coming back. It's that season is already over. They probably should start fire sailing now because that's the point they're at. And the Nats are the Nats are doing the Nats thing, being like comparatively fun.
Yeah, I mean they're in a rebuild. What can you expect?
Yeah, and Jesse Winker's hitting grand slams. Screw it. That's fun to a degree. So nights at Nats Park are probably going to be relatively entertaining. But, I mean, I wouldn't expect them to even challenge for the playoffs. I do think that at this point, it looks like the NL East is going to have two playoff teams. And, dude, the Phillies came out of the gates very differently than they have the last 2 years. So, it might be a division fight. I don't know when it will actually develop into a division fight. But,
hey, right. They're only 1.5 back right now.
Win-wise. Yeah, they're keeping pace with the Braves win-wise, so I wouldn't be shocked if it actually turns out to be a real fight. So moving on to the NL Central, we got the Cubs and the Brewers currently tied for first at 17-10. Cubs currently playing right now, could win, might not win, who knows. They got beat to death by the Red Sox yesterday, 17-0. But
that was fun for me.
They both have very similar run differentials. I know it was fun for you. So they both have. So the Cubs have plus 15, and the Brewers have plus 14. And after getting beat 17-0, that's pretty impressive. They still have positive run.
Not only that, it's positive 15.
Yeah, no, it's that's impressive. The Reds are at 15-13, and the scrappy early season Reds are revealing their head again. Will they sustain this? I don't think so.
Run differential says otherwise. Run differential says that.
Plus 21, yeah, no, but I mean, the Reds have this ugly pattern of falling off midseason.
They do.
You and I
agree.
So, will they stay the course? I'm skeptical, but will they be better than they were last year? I don't think so.
Yeah.
After that, you got the Pirates at 14-15, and then the Cardinals at 13-15. So it's a very competitive division. Again, this is one we said that it could go any way, and you expect one team to kind of just fall off. And I mean, honestly, based on your pitching staff, it kind of sucks that it might be the Cardinals because it's literally Sonny Gray and a bunch of bums, which you went through last episode.
Yeah, I'm not at peace, but I'm at violence.
No, I know you're not at peace. You've been at war for the last week and a half.
Still going to continue that war.
So
anybody comes at me on Twitter, buddy, I'm not your typical Cardinals fan. I have the mentality of a fan of the NL or AL East. Don't come at me.
No, he's gonna rip you up. It's been brutal actually to watch. I've seen people get torched
immediately try and come at me and say shit like, "Oh, well, looking at these, if you look at ERA, that's not the best tell sign." And then I bring up the other numbers, and they're like, "Oh, well, maybe we need to get it right." I'm like, "Yeah, no shit, I'm right."
Moving on to the AL East, the Yankees are currently top with 19-10. They have a plus 43 run differential. So again, much the opposite of what we kind of expected out of the Yankees. Their pitching staff has actually been pretty good, despite the expected numbers of Carlos Rodon.
And also despite not having Garrett Cole.
Yeah, not having Garrett Cole. So are they overperforming our expectations? Sure. I do think the Orioles still win this division. I think you're in the same boat as me. I don't think the Yankees continue to win at this pace. I mean, the Orioles have scored more runs than them, only by 3, but the Orioles pitching staff is nowhere near as healthy. I mean, they're just now getting Bradish back, and if they call up Cade Hovich, I don't see a way they lose this division. Will it be a dogfight? Maybe, but if it turns into a slugfest, I think I'm going to take the Orioles.
I agree.
And so that's just kind of the summation. The Orioles are at 17-10, so they're only 2 games back. Well, they're 1 game back in terms of actual standings standpoint, but they've played 2 less games. I would expect the Orioles to take the reins of this division at some point and just kind of run away with it. After that, you have the Red Sox with a plus 32 run differential somehow. You know what? Actually, I know how. Yesterday.
True.
But then after that, you got the Blue Jays with a minus 24, sitting at 14-15, and we've already discussed the Jays at length today, so we're not going to go much more into them. And the Rays finally showing what they actually are, with a minus 32 run differential, 13-16, and it's just kind of wow, okay, where has this been the last 6 years?
At least.
Yeah, at minimum. And then you have, in the AL Central, you have the team that no one expected to be 19-9, the Cleveland Guardians, plus 46 run differential, still a contact offense, not really a power team, but Stephen Kwan hit a nuke against the Braves, so thank you for that, but you still dropped 2 of 3 to the Braves, so not really thank you, Cleveland. So do they continue this? I doubt it. I mean, I don't think they run away with this division in any way. I think this division is going to end up very tight. The Royals are at 17-12, and with a plus 43 run differential, they are actually
the Royals have been,
and that is
insane.
Salvi's apparently found the fountain of youth, and is just been absolutely insane. So, again, will the Royals be the team fighting them for first? Maybe. Will it be the Tigers? I kind of lean more Tigers. I think we both lean a little bit more towards the Tigers just because of overall consistency. It makes more sense.
I think the Royals offense regresses while I think the Tigers offense progresses.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because the Tigers are at 16-12. Their run differential is far inferior, but I think that's because their offense hasn't really hit its stride more than anything else.
Yep.
And I think the Tigers end up taking second at some point and then actually pushing the Guardians. The Twins are at 14-13, which is a little bit more expected than anything else. Joe Ryan's been pitching well, but Pablo Lopez has been
meh. He's not the Cy Young pick that everyone always, for some reason, said he was.
And you're just I have no idea really what to expect with this team. And then the White Sox are being the White Sox. They're 6-22. Congrats on your sweep of the Rays.
They pretty much doubled their win total.
They completely doubled their win total.
Actually, they did.
And you said that Tommy Pham would fix them, and I know you were joking, but apparently it happened. So 3-7 in the last 10, and all 3 of those wins have been against the Rays. That's got to be embarrassing.
Yeah. I cannot believe. I would hate to be the team that doubled the White Sox win total.
I would hate that. Then moving on to the AL West, which is, I mean, at this point, the worst division in baseball.
Yeah.
Mariners at 15-13 at the top, 7-3 in the last 10. So they've been
been turning around.
Like in the last 10. Rangers 15-14, only a half a game back. So the two competitors are actually like fighting. The Athletics are sitting in third at 12-17. Not as bad as we thought.
Not even close.
Yeah. Mason Miller 7 for 7 in save opportunities. Good for him. The projected record is 9-20, which I mean makes a lot of sense considering the run differential is -43. But speaking of, the White Sox run differential is -77. So I mean that
they
makes
might break 100. They're gonna break
by next week.
I was gonna say they're gonna break 100 by the end of May for sure.
Oh yeah, easily. I think they get that like
a couple weeks in,
midway through May.
By the time I graduate from law school, they will have a negative 100.
Yeah, by the time we're both graduated, they're gonna be -100. Then you got the Angels at 10-18 and the Houston Astros at 9-19, which is why he's hovering above the panic button. But the run differential is in more of a favor of the Astros. They're -22, but they're 3-7 in the last 10, so they're on a better course than the Angels, but they're technically not on a better course than the Athletics, which is a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a better run differential by far, like 21. But, I mean, the fact that you're comparing run differentials to the Athletics and Angels this early is a little bit concerning. And the Angels play Philly this week. The Astros play Cleveland. And then the Athletics play Pittsburgh. That Pittsburgh series is like if the Athletics get 2 of 3, now you're like, are they really that bad? I mean, they've scored like sub 100 runs. So yes, they are bad, but it still puts them in a position where they're not dead yet.
I mean, and they're dead as in like a team they're not going to be playing October baseball. Like,
oh yeah, they're not playing October baseball, and we know that, but they're giving another AL Central team a chance right now to make the playoffs, which is a little bit scary. Because as much as I think Detroit and Kansas City need playoff baseball, like just as pure franchise moves, I don't know how bad I want to see 2 AL Central teams in the playoffs.
I do not really want to see that at all.
Because I think the Mariners and the Rangers at this point are not locks, but like they're better suited to the playoffs because of pitching staff.
And we've said before, if the Rangers get back Jacob DeGrom and Max Scherzer, oh my God. That's a
terrifying rotation.
And then not only that.
Yeah, that's a terrifying rotation.
Then you look at the lineup and you're like, oh my God. And their lineup is other than AG hasn't been that great. I mean, Corey Seager has been non-existent basically. Marcus Semien.
Yeah, he's actually been scuffling pretty hard.
In fact, we should have put him on our not list. He might be in next week.
Well, I mean, I think he might be on that next week because I think Evan Carter right now is currently trending towards hot because I think he in the last 5 games he hit 3 bombs.
Yeah, he's definitely been trending towards hot.
Okay, that's the Evan Carter we expected though.
Yeah, which, man, if they get that lineup going and that pitching staff going at the right time, we could be hearing a whole lot more of can you take me higher?
Yeah, we could be hearing a lot of Creed.
The Crifties are back.
But yeah, I mean, otherwise, not too many surprises early in the season. There are a couple mixed in here and there. the White Sox being awful is not surprising. The Marlins being the worst team in baseball is a little more surprising because I didn't expect it to be that bad. But okay. I'm also not so shocked.
We're probably going to have the same answer on this, and I'm going to ask it anyways. Most surprising team, good or bad?
Good or bad? Most surprising team, bad. I'm going to go Tampa Bay. I didn't expect them to be this bad. 13 and 16 isn't awful, but I didn't expect them to be as bad, because I predicted them to finish last. I think.
I don't know if you did or not, but yeah.
But I didn't see it actually coming to fruition. Yeah. And could it change? Absolutely. Yeah. But I mean, they just haven't looked good in any facet of the game. Good. I'm gonna go Athletics. Because while they haven't been good,
it's far better than expected.
It's way better than Athletic standards. And I mean, good for them. Absolutely good for them. Screw John Fisher.
True.
But I mean, they're performing way better than I thought they would.
So
7 save opportunities for Mason Miller is crazy to me already, considering how early in the season we are. I would have expected him to reach that late May.
I would expect it,
and he's already got it. Late April.
Him having 7 save opportunities, I would not have been shocked if we've been in July and we're talking about he's finally at 7.
No, you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right, because it's this guy might be the most electric pitcher in baseball.
We're going to see him in 14-run games because he hasn't pitched in 4 days.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I expected. And, I mean, good for the Athletics. I am happy for him specifically because he's raising his stock. But, oh my God, did I expect him to get 7 save opportunities this early? No, not at all.
I'm going to cautiously... I'm between 2 for my overall good that I'm shocked with. Them and the Yankees. Because, good God, did I not see the Yankees being that good. No, I agree with the Yankees
one, too. Well, I think we were both there.
For bad,
at the same time.
I'm beyond shocked. You didn't go with who I'm going with, the Astros. Because... Man,
that one I am shocked by, but it's so abnormal. I can't fathom.
That's what I don't see in it. I'm just saying to date, I'm just shocked.
To date, yeah, no, to date, they're definitely the most shocking.
They don't even have 10 wins yet.
But you know what? If I could change my answer from the Rays, I would change it to the Astros, because the Rays have this devil magic that makes me think they should be good every year. Yes. But I also did predict them to finish last, so I'm not am I overly shocked by the A's? By the Rays. That's who I meant. But technically no. But Jesus. The Astros have been they don't look like the Astros.
No, I mean the team that's went to the ALCS 7 straight years. A
minus 22 run differential for them already is for the Astros of old, that's devastating. And it's not even due to their pitching staff, it's their offense.
Well, overall, it's due to their pitching staff. I mean, but
overall, yes, but at the same, because they're down 4 runs every first inning. But and the only blessing in there has been 2 guys that are already on the IL, and yes, they're coming back. But Ronald Blanco, also a guy who no one heard of before the season,
the no-hitter, nobody had heard of him.
And you got 2 guys hitting right now?
That's pretty much.
Not great.
Hitting at the rate that they're projected to usually hit. So.
Has Kyle Tucker even hit a home run this year?
I think so. In fact, he hit one.
Wait,
he hit one yesterday.
He hit a couple, but
he's got 6.
It's not
Well, Kyle Tucker's been one of the ones that has been hitting. It's not him. It's been your.
Okay, yeah, that is true. Yeah, but it's I've seen I think the Red Sox just walk off the Cubs.
And it was...
From what I'm hearing in the other room,
Tyler O'Neill, too, if you're hearing that right.
Rest in peace, brother.
Pass me the fucking shotgun. God damn it.
Yeah, you've already used that one today.
So, on the Astros, Tuve's hitting well. Tucker's hitting well. Jordan bumped it up a lot during the series. He went up to an 868 OPS, but that's still low for him, honestly.
It's still low for him.
But Chas McCormick hasn't been hitting. Bregman's been abysmal.
Bregman's been bad. Just flat out bad.
Diaz, 781 OPS. So for a catcher, I'll take it. In fact, that's good, very good for a catcher, but still. Overall, McCormick, Bregman, Myers, Mauricio Dubon, even Pena's been dropping off. Overall, the lineup has taken a big step back. You gotta be no. Oh, that's how it happens.
I haven't seen it.
Well,
so I
can
no
take
idea.
that. It wasn't a home run. If it had been a home run, I would have been tasting lead tonight. He popped up between
Kurt Cobain.
He popped up between left field and third base, or left field, third base, and shortstop, kind of like Devil's area. Dansby was running back and had to make an insane catch to try and make it. There was a runner on first and third, and tried to make it, dropped it, and runner from third scores.
Oh, okay.
I'll take it. You'll see me for another episode at least.
Because I heard the roar. I believe they're in Fenway, and I was like, uh-oh. I heard the roar, and I was like, oh, no.
Tyler's dead.
Yeah, Tyler's dead. It's over.
All right, well, that was a good episode. Good way to... I like the ending it off like that, too, because I think that was a good question to ask.
Yeah.
All right.
No, definitely. Well, remember, follow us on Twitter at the BB Diaries. Follow us on Instagram at the Baseball Diaries. And our personal accounts are linked, so if you want to chat with us about baseball, feel free to DM the Baseball Diaries Twitter. You can DM the Instagram if you're not a bot. Screw it. But we're trying to grow the game, so be active. Listen, Jose Canseco follows us. He still hasn't responded to us in the chat.
He hasn't?
He follows me. He still hasn't responded to us in the chat about the allegations of
not allegations.
Him not wishing Happy Sunday. It's not an allegation.
That is a proven fact.
He hasn't responded to the fact that he has almost killed Tyler or doesn't wish him a happy Sunday.
Okay, that one's an allegation.
So, that one isn't okay. Well, he did say happy Sunday to everyone except that one guy. He could be referring to you. He could be referring to Ron Manfred.
I don't know.
Who's to say?
Hey, all I know is there's one of us that he tried to take their head off. Well, I shouldn't say tried, but almost took their head off. I won't say tried. I won't give him that accusation. Almost took my head off. So, I don't know.
Jose Canseco, if you're listening to the pod, thank you for following.
If you're listening to this pod, DM either of us, and we will have you on immediately.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I will get this Riverside shit figured out, and you will be on.
Yeah. Other than that, follow us on everything. Like us on YouTube.
Share with your friends. If your friends like baseball.
Yeah, share with your friends. Grow the game. Have fun. Baseball's always fun.
Like baseball but don't understand the stats, go to the stats definitions episode. We covered everything possible, I think. I mean, of course, I'm
pretty sure we did.
There's a bunch of other ones we could have, but if we went over every baseball statistic,
I think we covered
it would be 18,000 hours long.
Yeah, definitely.
And this one's going to be long, too.
We're not going
This is going to be another 2-hour episode.
Yep.
All right. Later, everybody.
All right. Peace, everyone. It's still recording. I'm seeing recording. Okay, hold on. Let me hang up and come back. What the fuck?